My special is an hour and 50 minutes long. It's nearly 2 hours. And look, I was blacklisted for 7 years. I didn't work for 7 years. I was investigated by the federal government. I was on the no-fly list, et cetera, et cetera. I had like a real story to tell. So my next special will be an hour. I haven't totally lost my mind, but this one the story needed to breathe.
Is it crazy when you say that? Like,
Yeah,
you're on the
all of it's
no-fly
crazy.
list. You were on the Interpol list.
The Interpol list, which is the international version of the no-fly list, and I was on the Five Eyes list, which is the ISIS terror watch list.
So is there any part of you that loves that it's happening, or is all of you frightened?
It's both. I'm frightened all the time because what happened to me was so real. Like being detained at an airport in Singapore is not fun. They take your passport and your phone. So even if you have great lawyers, which I do, and I have many, I can't reach them. And you're at the discretion of sometimes one person at an airport at 2 a.m. And they think I may or may not be a terrorist. So I was on the terror watch list. And, I filed a FOIA, a Freedom of Information Act, and a lot of it was redacted when I finally got it. But it was quite chilling seeing how serious the Trump administration was about actually trying to have me arrested for the crime of conspiracy to assassinate the President of the United States. That is crazy. That is crazy. That whether you like me or not doesn't matter. That shouldn't happen to anybody, much less a comedian.
Any part of you see what Rosie O'Donnell has done and go,
oh, of course. I'm getting dual citizenship for Ireland right now. Luckily, my grandparents were born in the old country. I'm fully % Irish, and I'm on the waiting list because they said, Miss Griffin, you've now filled out all the proper documentation. My brother, John, really took the lead, so I got to give my brother credit.
Wow.
And my brother's, just a civilian, a retired guy, and even he said, look, if it gets full-on fascist, I'm not going to stay. We're not going to stay. So I'm not ready to go, but if I have to go, I want to have a plan. So I'm not planning on leaving. I love my home. I love my friends. I want to stay here. But I'm not that crazy where if the pot starts to really boil, we, the frogs, have to jump out at some point. I want to at least have a plan. So I have a plan.
What is it? Like, is it like you and your family get on a private jet with your dogs to Ireland? And
yes. It's call Rosie O'Donnell and get all the help I can from her because she's one of my besties and she just went through the whole process and she has a dog. And by the way, one of my dogs is here. I brought one of my dogs.
I heard.
And so that was very important to me. But yeah, I would rent out my house and I would go. Probably until he croaks, I guess, or until we see what happens after he's done.
Do you think there'll be a third term?
I think let's just see if there's midterms.
I mean,
let's see how today goes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know this won't air today,
I get
but
your birthday's on election day.
I know. Election day, baby.
With the fallout of everything from the Trump photo, do you regret it at all?
I don't. The only regret I have is one day of really annoying publicist, a stupid publicist, talked me into doing an apology video. And I really wish I had been in the right frame of mind, and I wasn't. I was hysterically crying and laughing and in my pajamas and fielding super crazy phone calls from senators and celebrities and relatives and people I haven't talked to in decades. And it was super crazy. And I couldn't look at the news because I was like the main story. I know that sounds like I'm making it up, but it was the main thing on every cable network. And, it was crazy. I wish I had somehow been able to see through that BS and see that the whole thing was just bullshit. And I wish I would have just doubled down and just been like middle finger, like, fuck you, I'm a comic. I can make a statement about the president of the United States. That's what comedians do. If you don't like it, move on to another comic. But don't act like I'm a terrorist and don't try to have me arrested for a felony. And, I was surveilled for 2 years. Like, it was bananas.
Is it what led to like everything you went through in 2020?
I think so.
Yeah, right?
I think it was in some ways a catalyst. So in my special, I talk about everything from suicidal ideation to addiction and recovery to even heartbreak, going through a divorce. I just talk about that stuff because my act has always reflected whatever's going on in my crazy life, and my life is always crazy. I almost never have a day off from the crazy.
And it's wild to think that because like you can make the case that today you're in theory way less busy than like in 2010.
Oh my God, way less.
But it's still just as crazy.
Yeah.
Is it,
Like when I flew commercial last week. Everybody, mic drop.
let's go.
Normally I fly private. You heard me.
It's very
Go ahead.
relatable.
Bring the heat. Like I care.
You fly in first class or like in economy?
No, private. My own jet.
Oh, God.
Why'd you fly commercial then?
Because for once, my brain took over my ego and said it's fiscally more responsible to fly commercial
I mean, by like $38,000.
by like 80,000.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, I'm just saying it was funny because I was with my assistant who's relatively new, and he got to witness for the first time what it is that makes me a magnet for crazy. Because whatever it is, I engender something in everyday people, whether I'm walking down the street in Manhattan or at Los Angeles airport. The craziest people in the airport will come up to me, and they're either a Trumper that still has a gripe about the picture,
Really?
or they're a gay guy who's crying because he can't get his mom won't accept him, and then I'm his mom, or it's a guy that thinks I'm his cousin because he's like, I recognize you from something. So I get a lie like, wait, did we go to school together? And then he hugs me, and he like doesn't let go. Like that just happened last week. And he just kept hugging me, and I'm like, I don't think we went to school together. But I also didn't ever really leave the embrace. I was like, okay,
It felt good.
It doesn't really cost me anything to hug this guy. Like, and my assistant is looking at me like I ran into an old friend. And finally, I give him the code, and he's like, oh, and takes the guy's arms off me. And then finally, I was like, aha, you see? I told you I was a magnet for crazy. And it was exciting to have somebody witness it in real time.
You have a code system?
Yeah.
How does that
Code
work?
words. I have looks. I have body movements. One means like leave me with this person for a minute. One means eject button right away. One means come up with this kind of an excuse, like a really nice excuse so the person doesn't, Perez Hilton me or something. Yeah. And there's one. That's an old.
That's a weird reference.
It's kind of dated one. Yeah. It's a dated. That's like what we feared in the 90s. But yes, there's many codes involved.
Is it? Do you still have anybody from the My Life on the D-List crew? Any of the three crew members?
Well, I just had a Vegas reunion with my former assistants. So Tiffany, who I used to yell,
Icon.
Tiffany!
Icon.
She and I were just texting. I absolutely love her. She's just like she wanted. The day I hired her, she said, I want to be a mom. So she worked for me for 7 years, 7 blissful years, and she's a happy mom of 2, and she works for Google. She has a great job. And then at another reunion with John, who was on my Kathy talk show, which happened after the D-List for 2 seasons. And he works at Netflix now. He has a great job.
Where's Tom?
Tom is taking care of his parents in Missouri. So he's being like the good son, taking care of his parents.